Hello, my name is John August. I'm a screenwriter and a novelist. I wrote Big Fish, Charlie's Angels, Corpse Bride, Frankenweenie, and a bunch of other movies. I also wrote 3 Arlo Finch novels and the Broadway musical of Big Fish. And for the past 10 years, every word I've written has been in Highland. It's an app my company makes. We just launched a new version called Highland Pro, and I want to take a few minutes to show you what's new in it. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that Highland Pro is super clean. There's no Chrome, no cruft. It's just you and your words. I have a script open here. Let's write us a scene. So let's do a scene in an office. So we're going to say interior office day. So we'd already used an office building before, so it autofilled that. It autofilled the time of day. That's sort of table stakes in any screenwriting app. It's smart enough to know what a scene header is. Let's do a line of action here. So Dylan keeps an eye on the door as she downloads the schematics. Now you'll notice I'm putting blank lines between the scene header and the action line and after the action line. Writing in Highland is a lot like writing an email. You never hit tab, you just put blank lines between things. Highland is smart enough to figure out what kind of element something is just based on what's around it. Let's do the same with some dialogue here. So Dylan, and she says, Nat, this is taking forever. And you notice I didn't have to tell it this was dialogue. I didn't have to hit tab. It's smart enough to realize that if I have an uppercase line and then I have another line below it, that's dialogue. But I'm realizing here, this is actually, she's talking into an earpiece. I probably want to put that in a parenthetical. No worries. I just go parenthetical on earpiece. I didn't have to tell it what a parenthetical was. It saw parentheses and understands what a parenthetical is, and it formatted it automatically. The same with transitions. So if I say cut to, it's there. If you're coming from Final Draft or one of the other sort of legacy screenwriting apps, you're used to telling it how to do everything, exactly what you wanted it to be. Highland is smart enough to do it by itself. So what you're seeing here is the editor view, and by default, it's black text on a white background, but you can change it to anything you want. These are called themes, and you pick themes over here on the right-hand side. So right now it's in Highland Pro to standard, but maybe you want to switch to Solarized Light or Solarized Dark. You can also customize these themes to your wildest dreams. For now, let's go back to the standard. Now, whatever you're doing in the editor view, maybe you want to take a look and see what that PDF is going to look like. Well, you just click on Preview. So this is showing you an exact representation of what your PDF would be if you were to export it right now or to print it. And so you can scroll through here and see that your whole thing. Here you can also set your scene headers. So maybe you want to double space your scene headers, bold them. It's all right here. Switch back to the editor. And let's talk about some things that are unique to Highland Pro. The first is this view over here on the left called the Navigator. So the Navigator has all your scenes, has all your scene headers, but it also has notes for yourself and other things for yourself to look at about the flow of your document. I have a note here saying, cut this. I click on that. It takes me right to that point in the script. Oh, I see. This is a scene that I'm wondering, do I even need it? Maybe I want to cut it, but I kind of want to hold on to it. I think I used to do is to have a whole separate document where I would cut and paste things that I wanted to hold on to. In Highland Pro, you just drag it to the shelf. I'm going to select the text and literally just click and drag it over here to the edge. It creates what's called a snippet. And this little snippet has the whole text here that I can drag back into the script if I wanted it, but it's going to stick with my document. It's saved with the document. Also over here on the shelf, I can add things like, you can look at my stats. So here I'm seeing stats for this document. It's 145,000 characters, 25,000 words, 126 pages. That's a little bit long. I probably want like 118, 119 for this. So maybe I'll make myself a to-do list. So let's put that here on the shelf. A to-do list, first item in that is, let's say, cut 8 pages. I'm also noticing that I have a bunch of little minor characters who are kind of faceless and nameless. I want to consolidate henchmen, so I'm going to consolidate henchmen. So I tend to use to-do lists over here on the shelf for things that pertain to the whole script. But for things that are specific to a scene, I use inline notes. So let's find, here's one. I have a note to myself, say finished lyrics here. because I've started writing a little melody, a little song, but I haven't finished it yet. Let's try it. So first line is, when the mockingbird she sings her morning serenade, hear the joy and hope she brings, aid. So I need to rhyme something with serenade. Now what I could do is I could switch over to my browser, go to Rhyme Zone, type serenade, but then I've broken my flow. I've switched out of writing into research mode, and there's every chance I'm going to click on a headline, I get distracted, I'm going to check my email. I haven't just lost 20 seconds, I may have lost 5 minutes, I may have lost an hour to the internet. But in Highland Pro, I can just type /rhyme serenade and get an answer. Let me show you. Rhyme serenade. Boom. There are all the rhymes to serenade. Masquerade, retrograde, nightshade, barricade. They're all right here. I can pick the word I want, type clear, and it all goes away. The same thing works for synonyms. Like let's say I needed a shade of red. What I might type is like red. And there you go. Ruby, reddy, reddish, carmine, erythrocyte. I don't even know what erythrocyte is, but it is a synonym for red. I pick the word I want, type clear, and it goes away. We call this whole feature lookup. It's typing a slash followed by anything that you really want. Often I find myself using it for definitions because there are times where there's a word I think I know what it means, but I'm not quite sure I know what it means. Like ombudsman. So I'm going to define ombudsman. If I can even type it right, ombudsman. It is an independent official who investigates complaints against government agencies or organizations. Great, I now know what that is. Lookup is also really useful for when you need a simple fact, like president in 1815. So I just type that, president in 1815. James Madison. Now I know who that was. So that's lookup. It's a faster answer that doesn't break your flow. Now there are so many other features of Highland Pro I could tell you about, but really, you're better off trying it yourself. Highland Pro is available today on the App Store for Mac, iPad, and iPhone. It's a free trial for 30 days, and I think you're going to love it. But if you don't, it won't cost you a cent. We're also a fully native app, which is why it's so fast. And that also means we can take advantage of cool Apple things like iCloud syncing. So the script I've been working on, it's already updated on my iPhone and my iPad. And it's pretty great. We also have a lot of exciting plans for the future of Highland as well. I can tell you right now, those plans do not involve AI. Highland Pro is designed for human writers to put words together the old-fashioned way. It may help you write faster, but it's never going to write your script or your novel for you. That's still your job. Instead, Highland's focus is what it's always been, getting out of your way so you can get your work done. Thanks. And check out Highland today on the App Store for iPad, for Mac, and for iPhone. Enjoy.